Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I just finished sitting down to film my first trimester video post, so if you haven't checked that out, definitely go and check it out. I'll leave a link below. But I wanted to stay here a little bit longer and film another video because I realized that I haven't really answered the question that a lot of people have asked me, which is like, how did you guys find out that you were pregnant? So first of all, Joe and I were not really trying to get pregnant. It's not like we were actively like looking at a fertility calendar and scheduling, you know, sexy time to try to make baby. Really what happened was back in January, we decided, you know what, I'm gonna go off birth control and just kind of see what happens. I had heard that, you know, getting off of birth control can take a while, like for all of like the stuff to like get out of your system and for like your body to be back in sync. So I figured if I got off of birth control in January, then, you know, it could take a few months until like something happened. So in March, I realized that I was a few days late for my period, and I wasn't really too concerned about it. Sometimes it's off by a few days, which is normal. But then, like I mentioned in my first trimester video, my boobs were so sore. Like they were so sore. That was weird for me because my boobs tend to hurt like the week before I get my period. So the fact that they were hurting at this point when I was a few days late, that to me was already a little odd. So finally, one morning I woke up and I decided, you know what, I'm just gonna take a test and kind of see what happens. So without Joe knowing, I didn't tell him anything. I went into the bathroom and I had a couple pregnancy tests that I had like saved like for a rainy day, I guess, and this was the rainy day. And so I took a pregnancy test. The first test that I took, I don't even remember the brand that I took, but it was one of those pregnancy tests where you pee on the stick, and then if you have 2 lines, that means that you're pregnant. And so I remember peeing on the stick and then just watching that and like watching 1 line show up. And so 1 line showed up, I was like, okay. And then very slowly that 2nd line started to show up. And I was just like, okay, this is happening. I guess I'm pregnant. It wasn't the kind of moment where I was sad or I was like, holy crap, like, you know, this is terrible. Like I was just kind of in shock because that was obviously the first pregnancy test that I had ever taken that was positive. So at this point, I didn't tell Joe anything. I was like just trying to process that information. And after I had gotten that news, after I had done the test, his mom was actually staying with us. His mom is from out of town and she had been staying with us for a couple of months in the house. And so she was going to be leaving the next day. And so since she was leaving the next day, we were doing like a nice goodbye lunch for her. And we were gonna take her down to Key Largo to one of our favorite restaurants and just have a nice, you know, afternoon with her. And so I remember just sitting in the car, driving down to Key Largo, not saying much of a word to Joe, and like knowing that I had this secret and like I hadn't shared it with him yet. Like it was just like killing me inside. It was so bad. All I wanted to do was tell him. But I didn't. I kind of kept it to myself, but obviously I was so distracted that afternoon, that whole lunch. I don't remember anything about that lunch except the fact that like I had this secret that nobody else knew, and it was just like, I don't know, it was like scary but like fun at the same time that nobody else knew. So as soon as we got back home from the lunch, at that point I took another pregnancy test. I actually made Joe stop at Publix on our way home. And I told him like, oh, I need to get something. I forgot what I told him that I needed to get. And I actually went and I got 2 other types of pregnancy tests because I wanted to like try multiple brands just to be sure. And so I kind of snuck those back into the house and went straight to the bathroom and I took both of those tests. Sure enough, I think like the 3rd test that I took was a clear blue test. So that's like the one where you get like a little plus sign if it's positive. And yeah, there was a plus sign there, definite plus sign. So that's the one that I actually ended up showing to Joe. So what I did was like, I had no elaborate way of telling him because had I wanted to do that, it would have had to been like planned and it would have taken a while, and like I was just dying to tell him. So I did the first thing that I could have thought of, and you know, I get Ipsy bags all the time. Like as stupid as it sounds, I put the freaking pregnancy test in an Ipsy bag. So in this Ipsy bag, I put the pregnancy test. It's in here still, but I'm not gonna take it out. And so I kind of called him into the bedroom and I was like, oh, I have a present for you. And he's like, well, what's going on? Like, what do you need to give me? And so I kind of just handed him the Ipsy bag and I go, here, this is for you. And he looked at me like, why the heck are you giving me a makeup bag? Like just throw that shit away. And I was like, no, open it. And so he opened it up and he was like, I guess it took him a while to process what the heck that was, but he was in total shock. He wasn't mad at all, but he kept saying something like, like he was like really pensive and he was like, interesting. This is interesting. Like his word was interesting. And I was like, well, yeah, like it looks like we're having a baby. And so he was super excited after he had processed the news. But it was just like one of those really unexpected things, yet it's still something that we welcome so much because like we had talked about it. We had said, you know, well, if it happens, it happens. Like we're ready. But I guess we just didn't think it would be so soon. So it's just funny to think that now I'm at 20 weeks pregnant tomorrow. So a lot has happened in 20 weeks, but we are so excited to meet our baby girl. I don't know, we just couldn't be happier. So our next steps now are to put together the nursery and to start kind of getting her room set up. So in the near future, of course, I'll be doing a nursery tour, and you know, as I go buying things, I'll make sure to show you guys. And I'm definitely gonna need recommendations. So if you have anything that you would recommend, any tips, any things that like you bought for your nursery that you didn't end up using, or things that you would recommend that I do buy, definitely leave me some comments down below, because again, it's the first time I do it and I have no real idea what I need to have. So other than me going on Pinterest, I don't have much direction. So I would appreciate all the help that I could get from you guys, from any of you who have been through this before. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's how Joe and I found out that we were pregnant. So I hope that answers your question. And again, stay tuned for a lot more videos about my pregnancy and some other updates and stuff. I've got a lot of fun things planned. So if you did like this video, I would appreciate it if you would give it a thumbs up, and if you would subscribe to my channel. I'll love you forever. It means a lot to me. I think we're almost at 200. So again, it's not a huge, massive following, but you know, baby steps. We'll get there eventually. All right, guys, we'll talk soon. Bye.